Audi come to the Acropolis as firm favourites each year, yet it is clearly not their event. In 1981, the whole team was disqualified for technical infringements, and last year favourite Mikkola retired after the first stage with collapsed front suspension. A second complete disaster was rescued by Mouton, bringing her Quattro back to Athens for her third World Championship win. Would 1983 bring Audi more success as they face their toughest challenge yet? The Lancia team, now being just as competitive on the rough as on the asphalt. Omens are not good as Michelle tries her new car on for size just before scrutineering.
This is more like this. I don't have to be like this and to have a pen here always. If I can be like this and have this here.
Mikkola has yet to finish the Acropolis. Last year, Manolis Panayotopoulos and Nick Generales took their Toyota Starlet to a class win and 11th overall. We asked Nick why the route was shorter this year.
This is due to fuel shortage, and the organizers are trying to help the general idea of making rallies short to prevent gasoline.
Do you think it's going to spoil the sort of tradition of the Acropolis as being one of the toughest endurance events in Europe?
Not exactly, because they make it smaller, but they make it more rougher every year.
Just north of Athens city limits lie the horrific 42 kilometers of rocks and boulders over Mount Parnis. Only 18 kilometers in, Mouton rolled her Quattro. Audi's troubles have started already. Vatanen too is delayed with a puncture. So it is Róhrl who drives off the mountain first, second fastest. Vatanen has time to change a wheel and is still 11th fastest. Mikkola stops at the same place to do the same, and he is still 10th fastest. Toivonen, the meat in the opal sandwich, another to suffer an early puncture. Marco Alén in car 7 is 6th fastest, 20 seconds slower than Róhrl. Blomquist starts well with 4th fastest. Alén, number 1 Datsun driver, is well off the pace over Parnis and is over 3 minutes slower than teammate Mater in car number 10. A Soulworks Renault for Ragnotti, who starts well with 5th fastest. But quickest of all is Attilio Batiga to put Lancia 1 and 2. Austrian Franz Wittmann, who retired last year, is back again in his privately financed Quattro. Lancia then arrive at service with nothing to worry them. Their opposition in all sorts of trouble, with little more than an hour of the 4-day rally over. Batiga's opening performance was dimmed by a slow time on stage 2, so Róhrl leads 3 seconds ahead of Blomquist. By stage 4, Róhrl is only 2 seconds in front of Alén. And by the end, it is Marco who has edged into the lead by 11 seconds. Recovering quickly from his puncture, Mikkola sets fastest here and is within 3 seconds of Róhrl by the end of the test. The Opals have been in all sorts of trouble, and Henry Toivonen is yet to feature on the leaderboard. Blomquist lost 3 minutes on Aliki stage 3 and has lost touch with the lead. Batiga is back on song and scores a 3rd fastest over New Prodromos, but drops down to 4th overall behind Mikkola. Timo Salonen just inside the top 10. Vatanen too is out of contention. On top of the earlier puncture, he's had a pedal jam. And so, despite stopping on stage 2 unable to locate the wrongly labelled fuel pump switch, it's Team Junior Jimmy McRae who leads the Opel trio in 7th place. Mater carries a similar distinction in the Nissan camp. 5 stages on, and conditions have changed dramatically. Thunderstorms crackle round the mountain tops, and the dust bowl is turned into a lake. But for this rear wheel puncture, Mikkola would now be in the lead. It is to be another 3 stages before he finally pulls clear. This is the longest stage of the rally, at nearly 53 kilometers, and Steve Blomquist sets fastest time, having already passed Alén with more than 8 kilometers to go. Marco has been handicapped with only 1 wiper working. What a time for such a failure. Walter paddles through, half a minute slower than Blomquist. McRae, 9th fastest. Vatanen's best stage to date, 3rd quickest. Salonen now 8th overall. And Toivonen's going better, 5th fastest here, and up to 11th overall. Next day, and the run back to Athens. Mikkola starts the day with a few seconds in hand and extends his lead to 3 minutes by the time Athens is reached in the evening. Meanwhile, our friends in the Starlet are already up to 15th and leading their class by an hour. But they're having troubles.
We're having trouble with the rear axle. Our springs are not strong enough, so we're going to change them in Athens. And after that, everything is okay. We're going to buy some more tires because we're running out of tires.
You're quite pleased with where you're positioned at the moment?
The position is so good that I don't believe it, and I don't like it, I'll say. It's very early for a position like that.
All about that.
Sadly, the engine expired before they could reach Athens. A great run. This left their teammates Papatriantafilou and Stefanis to uphold Toyota honours. In their dust comes Kenyan Basil Kritikos. Blinded by the choking fog, disaster strikes round the next bend. Co-driver and Safari rally boss Mike Doughty explains what happened.
Dead simple. Caution K left in absolute dust. IFR conditions. We went straight over there. We were very unlucky in that we didn't do a wall of death here. We hit it with the nose and tipped it upside down. Otherwise it would have been straight on down here.
And you get straight back on the road down there?
Yeah. As we learned later.
Do you think you could have carried on if there'd been enough people here to turn it back on its feet?
Yes, easy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just a dent or two.
Well, bad luck.
The Last stage out from Athens, and behind Mikkola comes Róhrl. Alén. Toivonen clawed himself up 4 places during the day. Then Vatanen 5th. Steegs had a fire in the boot and has dropped back. Vertiga leads McRae by 6 minutes. Ninth is Meta. Salonen went out with gearbox trouble 2 stages ago. The top 10 is completed by Franz Wittmann, with Greek champion George Mouchos in the third works Nissan 11th.
Walter, the same position approximately as last year. Are your tactics any different?
Yes, of course. Last year I was trying for World Championship, and this year I'm trying to make maximum point for my factory.
So, how is this going to affect your driving during this last leg?
Yeah, as fast as possible.
How much chance do you feel there is of getting those 2 minutes back or so?
Okay, I think 1 puncture is chance enough.
Right, well, we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Now, the worry for both of you, I suppose, is going to be fending off Blomquist, who's catching up from last time. Is he going to overhaul either of you?
I think he'll overhaul us for sure, yeah.
What about you, Fred?
Going to be quite difficult for us, but I mean, if he gets a bit between his teeth and decides to do it, I guess that we have to decide whether to risk our car trying to keep ahead of him or to let him go. And we don't know yet. We'll have to see how it goes.
The cars are in good shape at the moment, are they?
Yeah, I mean, everybody had the big service last night, nearly 2 hours, so apart from the engine and the body shell, I think everybody's got a brand new car for this bit.
Well, the first half of the rally hasn't been a good rally for the McRae team, so maybe the second half will be a bit kinder.
What's your problems been?
Oh, we've had various problems. We've had a clutch problem, we've had 2 very costly punctures, and we've had a diff failure. Just one thing after another, really.
So hopefully it's out of the way. Now this year there is a shorter last leg in actual fact. How do you think that's going to affect the job?
I think it's going to be easier than it was last year. I don't know that the conditions or the positions will change that much, really. I think it's too short for other people to have big problems.
You can hold Stig off, can you?
I doubt that. You know, Stig's going very quick.
Next morning, the order is Róhrl. Alén. Blomquist. Only Lancia can relax. Audi's act has flopped again, and Opel are in all sorts of trouble. Toivonen has been up to 4th, but hit a tree on the first stage of the leg. Vatanen had then been locked in battle with Blomquist for 3rd, but has driven the entire 47 kilometers over Mount Parnon with a detached front strut.
No, before the start of the stage.
The sole surviving Datsun, driven by ever-reliable Shekhar Mehta, finishes 6th. The Visas had a good rally, with Vomberg leading them home 9th overall, 10.5 minutes ahead of 10th place Schomann. With Mouchos crashing out during the night, best local driver becomes Papa Triantafylou, who brings his battered Corolla back to the Athens stadium to a tumultuous welcome. Opel's misfortune continued, and Jimmy McRae's final night was as disappointing as last year. He was overhauled by both Wittmann and Mehta following axle trouble. and ended the rally in 8th place, with the offending part held on with rope. The top 3. 3rd, Stig Blomquist. He was the quickest man in the rally with 17 fastest times to Róhrl's 5. But the handicap of bad service support meant that when Mikkola went out, he was too far back to take over. With a second to add to his Corsican win, Alén was delighted.
And I coming Athens in second lap. In last stage, my water pump in belt is broken, and I not seeing. I see it's coming red line in my instrument, but I not stopping, and I continue about 60-70 kilometers, and after my head gasket is broken. And this yesterday evening and all today is a little bit difficult, but yes, but I hope I am very happy I'm here. You know, it's first and second is fantastic.
Well, congratulations, and how do you feel about it?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I feel sorry for Hannu, and it was bad for him. But second, it was a very good event for our team. It was fantastic what Lancia has done here, and I think it's really a good public relation for this Volomex engine against this four-wheel drive. And it seems at this time that Volomex is the same like you have four-wheel, the driven car.
And the car's perfectly capable of standing up to the roughness, obviously to finish her. But
absolutely, I had not one technical problems, absolute nothing.
Right. And when will we see you again?
Next one is New Zealand and in San Remo, 2 times more.
Well, we'll look forward to that. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Congratulations.
Okay, thanks.